Hello everybody and welcome back to Blended Miniatures. I am your humble host Tim, and today I thought I'd try something a little bit different and show off some of my Kroot conversions. Now, for those of you that don't know, the Kroot are a race in the Warhammer 40k or 40,000 universe of avian cannibal or carnivorous alien hunters and fighters that work for the Tau Empire. But one of the key traits of the Kroot is that they evolve by the consumption of their enemies. So when they fell an enemy on the battlefield, they consume their flesh and can adapt certain aspects of their DNA in order to evolve and become even stronger. So as you can see here, we've got the different variants of the Kroot here. We got the Narlock, a big Krootox, a different variant of a Krootox. So all of these were at one stage a regular Kroot, or at least their ancestors were, and have evolved via eating different animals to become this particular form. So what we have here, these are the Kroot models that are these the primary ones that I use as the counts as for my Tau Empire army. Because the Kroot no longer have a valid codex, I have had to use counts as models in order to continue to play my Kroot force as a cohesive army, rather than using add-ins from the Tau Empire. So most of these represent different Tau units. So this one here, for example, let me get focus in on it. This is my Cadre Fireblade. So very basic conversion on this one here. Additional armor plates on the legs. Of course, the Kroot rifle. The pulse rifle, I should say. One of the advantages of using Tau components when converting Kroot units is that the Kroot and the Tau both have 3 fingers and 1 thumb, or at least 4 digits on one hand. So the use of the glove here for the rifle, without actually having to remove it, actually still works in terms of the conversion. The head is actually a special resin print made by Felix to Crazy from Instagram. He also has his own Etsy store. I'll link it in the description. And he has like all sorts of really awesome bits and pieces that you can get for your Kroot armies. But yeah, very basic conversion. Just added additional armor plates, as you can see, mounted him up. And this guy has got the underslung marker light, one of the targeting reticles from an Orc kit, and a scope from a Space Marine kit, because as all good Kroot shapers know, that no weapon should be left on the battlefield if it can be utilized. And yeah, so again, very basic conversion, but effective and very easy to tell what it is when looking at it across the table. The next one here is my ethereal, or as all Kroot players know them as, the Shaman, the Kroot Shaman. And this is actually a Tau ethereal model kit that you can pick up online. The rear shield generator there is actually from what was it called? The Tau Stealth Suit kit, because this model occasionally counts as Un-Shi, the special character ethereal, and he actually has an invulnerable save, but works just as well as a basic ethereal if you want to run it that way. The head was actually what I picked up from this miniature here, this one here when I get to it, but the head, as you can see, is a lot more wrinkled and looks quite aged, so I chose to use that head to represent it. And then to make it not so obvious that it was an ethereal, I lopped off the feet. You can't really see it, or you can kind of see it in there. but I lopped off the feet of the Tau model and replaced it with Kroot feet with green stuff, and you can still see some of the green stuff on the interior there. But when you're playing it on the battlefield, you don't need to worry about doing all the interior bits and pieces. So, and then the top of his blade, I'm not exactly sure where I got that from. I think it was actually from one of the Ogre Kingdom's kits to represent his honor blade. So, again, it's very simple conversion, but very, very effective and very easy to tell what this model is when looking at it across the battlefield. This one here is a Vespid counts as. The Vespid being the insectoid flying units that the Tau have also folded into their empire. It's based off a Fury from the Chaotic Beasts box set for Warcry. And again, a very simple conversion. All you had to do was lop the arms off and replace them with the Kroot arms. Once again, the Tau hand options allow for this conversion to be very, very simply done, and then just adding in the shoulder armor as well. The ends here are from a company called Red Dog Miniatures, and they actually do a whole bunch of really cool Tau weapon upgrades that you can buy. And so I picked up a set of their Neutron gun ends, and literally all you do is you cut off the end of a pulse rifle or a pulse carbine and stick that on the end, and boom, you've got yourself a neutron blaster. The idea was that you can run Tau models instead of your regular Vespid models, but I, of course, took it in a different direction and gave myself Kroot Vulture Kindred. And then mounting it, of course, I got the old Jungle Tree set, and I just cut this little bit here. That's actually a stone that the model would actually normally be mounted on its base, and just attached it to the tree and painted it up so it looks like he's actually leaping off the tree in a really dynamic pose. And that's the thing I absolutely love about the Furies, is that they come with the wings already intact, and they just, they've got like the same sort of physique that a Kroot would have if it had taken this evolutionary path. So yeah, so if you ever want to have a crack at building your own, that's how you do it. And again, all the links will be in the description down below. These ones here are my shapers. Rather than doing the same shaper model, I've just taken regular Kroot and given them a bunch of upgrades. This guy here has a bionic arm from an old Necromunda set. He was holding a chainsaw. Because I didn't have a chainsaw, I cut that off and just drilled out the hand to make it look like he was holding a fist. And yeah, just gave him a whole bunch of additional equipment, and then of course gave him blades on his pulse rifle, so that still being true to his Kroot heritage. This guy here, again, same deal. These pouches are from the what are they called? The Space Marine Scouts box sets. Blade arm, backpack here is from the Ogre Kingdoms, and this arm here is actually one of the pulse rifle arms from an actual shaper kit. So it's actually metal, which is why this guy keeps falling over all the time, because he's not very well he's not very well balanced. So you get this guy on a hill and he keeps on tumbling down the hill. But I do absolutely love the pose that he strikes. And then of course we have this guy here. This was before I started using the Tau arms. I actually carved out this guy's arm and carved out the rifle in order to make it look like he was actually holding it, and even had to do the same with this arm here. This was, I believe, one of the knife hands, and I cut the knife out, then I actually cut a groove in it, and then wedged it apart so he actually was holding it, and it just turned out to be a hell of a lot more effort. I mean, you can't deny the effect is really, really good when he's genuinely holding the weapon, but it's a real pain in the ass to do. But if you want to have a go at it, please be my guest. But if you want to do it easily, I just recommend using the Kroot, the Tau arm, because you get same basic idea, but without a lot of the effort. Then of course his bionic eye is actually a Space Marine scope, which I've cut to the right angle and adhered to his face, and then filled him up with all of his equipment, including a bonding knife, since he has been with the Tau for a very long time. Over here, this was one that I created just out of... this is back in edition, actually, I should say. Back when you could have additional allies like Imperial troops in with Tau units. This was a Calexis Assassin, or as I call it, the Kroot Lexus. Of course, taking a lot of inspiration from Predator, of course, but also maintaining its... true Tau heritage. So he's got all the Tau equipment on the back there, the ion blaster for the Animus Speculum counts as. The head is actually one of the trophy skulls from the Dark Eldar box set. So if you ever want to make like a really evil looking Kroot, then I would highly recommend, you can actually pick up boxes of just the Kroot skulls as well. And the fluff behind this guy was that he is he's an albino, as you can see, and he's blind, but he has the ability to see into the warp to hunt his psychers. And then, of course, a spear. This came from the Narlock kit up the back there. You could get the spears. It's really difficult to come by now, unfortunately, but very cool. And then the blades here are actually two blades from the old Dark Eldar rifles that I just attached to his wrist and then mounted some green stuff to make it look like it's a special gauntlet that he's with. And then his grenades, and yeah. And this is probably one of the things I'm most proud of. That is all freehand. I have no idea how I managed to get that Tau symbol looking that accurate in freehand, but yeah, I've never been able to replicate it. All the icons on the other models at the moment, they're actually custom decals that I've printed myself, but this was a freehand paint job that I do, and I've never been able to repeat my success in that. But yeah, absolutely love this guy, the mighty Kroot Lexus. Took down many a psyker back in the day. All right, now to the big guys up the... Whoop. Now to the big guys up the back. We'll start over here. This is a counts as Tau battlesuit. This is basic battlesuit commander, and as you can see, it's based off one of the rat ogres from one of the old fantasy starter box sets. Just got a Krootox head and molded it into the body with green stuff after I removed the original head. And then up the back here for his weapon, it's just an orc shooter with an Imperial stubber barrel and a Kroot gun end. That spinal column, I believe, is from a Ogre Kingdoms box set. And then this shoulder-mounted weapon is actually part of, again, the Narlock box set, because it was designed for a rifle that could be wielded with one arm rather than needing to support it with your other arm, so it has the stock looping over the shoulder. And so because he's got the mounted weapon, that helps to lock him onto the model itself, the mount itself. The binoculars, they're a hybrid piece. They're actually, the rear section is actually from one of the, what are they called? The Hammerhead or Devilfish pilots. They had like the sets of two binocular hands, so I just cut off the other side, and then the actual binocular bits there are from Marine Scout bikes. And I'm not sure that you can see here, but something I was actually very proud of. I gave him proper flak armor, so his upper torso is actually a Tau body, and then I cut out the lower section and used green stuff to actually make it look like it's the same sort of shape as the Kroot's stomach. So he's got like Kevlar, and then I sculpted in a little belt and then attached it to the body itself. You can't really see it on the table, but it's just one of those nice little touches for when someone actually picks up the model. So this is basically a battlesuit commander for if I am unable to run a Forge World miniature or an unofficial miniature in the place that I am running it at, because some different places have different rules guiding what models you are allowed to use, like if you're at an official store or something like that, or different tournaments as well. This guy over here is an out-of-production Narlock Rider model from Forge World. And can I take this guy off? Oh no, I've actually glued him on. He was for a very long time just detached. So the body itself, built as is, just added a lot more extra equipment, because this guy is more of a scout rather than just a regular cavalryman. This guy, again, representing a Tau battlesuit. Oh, I should have said, the gun is representing a Tau missile pod, which is just a rapid-fire variant of the Kroot gun. I figured that'd be the best way to make sense of it. So this guy here has got the same idea, but his is a high-powered rifle. Oh, he's a bit dusty. And all of his equipment is based around his backpack. So a whole bunch of different models here. I think the backpack primary component is Acadian communications box. You've got the shield generator from the stealth suit set. That's a stealth suit shoulder pad there. Space Marine plasma gun bit there. A little targeting piece from the stealth suits as well. His gun is a las gun with an Auspex and the actual Kroot rifle bit as well. So just a whole bunch of random bits all thrown together. And then, of course, the goggles. They're the front end of the night vision goggles from the Space Marine Scout box set. And then just use green stuff to wrap it around to make it look like he's actually got them strapped on. And then all the bits and pieces on his back, just random detritus from other kits that I've collected along the way. This piece here is actually from, I believe, one of the preachers from Necromunda. Really, really hard to get your hold on that now. Get a hold of that now, I should say. And then, of course, last but definitely not least, my current battlesuit commander. Now, this miniature came all the way from Soviet Russia. Years and years ago, a guy created this miniature and was selling them on eBay under Kroot on Giant Ape, and were absolutely awesome models. As you can see, the detail on it is just phenomenal. Even the Kroot rider himself, just all the skin and everything on this guy. And the gun as well. Unfortunately, the end of the gun was actually very, very thin, because it was made out of resin. It actually slouched down. So when I got it, I cut it off and replaced it with one of the metal Krootox gun ends. And to be honest, it really helps to make this thing really, really look the part. The head on this guy is one of Felix's again. As you can see, with the little targeter and the antenna. And aside from that, it was just this little bit here is actually part of a Tau drone and the battery pack off one of the Orc Rocket Boy kits. And the idea is that this guy is a battlesuit commander. He has the shield generator. He's got the 2+ armor save due to the extra strength of the armor plating that this Oxen has evolved. Again, just with the missile pod on the top there being the rapid-fire Kroot gun. And then, of course, for a relic, just because this guy's got this massive smashing hand here, give him the Omega Gauntlet so he can punch things to death in close combat, thus making him quite a threat as compared to other Tau battlesuit commanders when it comes to close combat. And the base here is just covered in random bits and pieces, just bits of green stuff, stones. This is just an old beaky marine head with some scratches on it. And yeah, all painted up in their beautiful brown. I won't go over all the paint colors on this because it's a lot more difficult to go through than usual, but yeah, so there they all are. So again, this is just some of my Focus. So again, these are just some of my Kroot models, not all of them, but these were the ones that I figured I would just show off because they're the ones that best represents a lot of the conversions that I have done. The most blended, I should say. If those of you out there are interested in seeing more of my Kroot conversions, please comment below and let me know, and I'll do a part 2 on my other Kroot conversions. Also, if there's anyone who wants to see my other just regular Tau conversions, I'm happy to do that kind of stuff too. But for the time being, thank you all very much for watching. This has been Blended Miniatures. I have been your humble host, Tim, and remember to like and subscribe and to keep on blending. Bye!